time it is.
It's tea time! Oh, yeah!
Deal with it. So today we have an interesting...
Ripe
with some orange peel in it.
Yeah, tangerine.
Tangerine, excuse me.
Yeah.
Don't... I know,
yeah,
geez,
don't screw up our sponsor this time.
Yeah, no, Big Tangerine is going to be pissed.
Yeah, Big Tangerine is known for their vicious rhetoric on YouTube and going after people that cross them.
More. Yeah. So it's like, it comes in a little package that has these little, like, indented candy bar kind of cutout. So you just kind of...
break it apart.
Bake it apart, I guess.
Yeah. And kind of one of the cool things about this, actually, is usually when you get these, they're super compressed. So in my opinion, not very user-friendly.
Right.
But in this case, they actually break apart quite easily, which I kind of prefer, actually.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We're trying to judge how much leaf to use and all those fun things.
Right. So this is a ripe with
yes.
tangerine peel from...
Chensheng Hao.
Okay, Chensheng Hao. Okay. And this is part of an anniversary pack that has 2 other teas in it?
Yeah, which, we may or may not bring on at a certain point.
Yep.
They were kind enough to send this along with their Lao Ban Zhong, which we brought onto the show a few weeks back. So yeah, curious to try this. This is kind of like what you're talking about, like chasing like novelty and things like that. It's like we don't drink, like these teas are not exactly that uncommon, but we don't drink stuff like this very much at all, so kind of a treat. Ooh, that is quite a
fragrant.
Intense fragrance on that.
The liqueur really...
Yeah, indeed.
Okay. Cool. Alright, I'm curious. I don't know how much leaf we're using here. Just kind of eyeballed it.
I think it may have said 7 grams as each of those individual packs,
wow.
which looks like less than 7 grams. So
okay,
we'll see. We can always tailor it back, and like the color is not inappropriate for a ripe at all.
Yeah. If anything, I just worry that we have too much orange or tangerine in there. I mean, filling up the gut would be quite...
Tangerine's like cowbell, my friend. You can never have too much.
Oh my god. Okay, I'm going to spoil Dune 2 for some people who haven't seen it yet. Christopher Walken in Dune 2. Why? Hi, I can't even do Christopher Walken. Someone who... Anyway, explain that to me. Such a good movie. What the F was Christopher Walken doing in that film? Cheers.
Well, when you have option of Christopher Walken or not, you take Christopher Walken.
I guess so.
The King of New York, my friends.
Oh.
Interesting. Very nice texture.
Yeah, the tangerine's not there. It's very subtle.
Yeah.
I mean, not very subtle. It's definitely in there, but I was
expecting... the fragrance.
Yeah, I was expecting a lot more punch.
Like a really nice silky vanilla kind of texture to it. It's not exactly what I expected from the smell.
Definitely ripe. What's the base material? Do we know how old this is?
They said the ripe, when they pressed it, was about 10 years old.
Okay.
So I think this is probably from last year, so looking at about that range.
Got just sniff of some funk in there.
Oh, yeah.
So you can tell something's been hanging out for a little bit. That was subtle enough. I'm going to kind of push this one a little bit darker here. Actually, quite a bit darker.
And how much of the leaf did you end up using, Denny? A tablet and a half?
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe 10...
Sure.
10 grams maybe. That's going to include some of the peel as well. Alright, cheerio. Pip pip.
All the way down the hatch. Kind of has this very like refreshing feel to it. It's like kind of a mouth refresher or whatever.
Yeah, it's very weird. I'm like I feel like it pairs well, but it's very different.
I think I mostly like it. But yeah, the tangerine I think adds a bit of bitterness to it, which is a little uncommon in the ripe category.
This is not a dig on it, but there's a little fishiness going on in here.
Interesting.
For me. Maybe it was the remnants of the crab salad we just had.
I'll leave that to your imagination.
It's really good. All right, I just want to hang out for a bit. I want to get into kind of like, I don't know, rougher flavors.
Yeah.
Mom test?
No, probably not.
Probably not, but it's not very off-putting. It's like pretty...
Yeah. The smell of it in particular, I think the tangerine really sanitizes the ripe smell. So,
yeah,
I like that. In that sense, that will kind of help some people, I think, get into it. But yeah, it's kind of a weird thing. It definitely doesn't taste like a pure ripe.
No. Huh. Liqueur color. Yeah. Definitely interesting.
Cheerio.
Cheerio.
Interesting, yeah. The tangerine peel flavor comes out a little bit more here. A little more bitter, too, I'm going to say, which is unusual to have in a ripe such as this.
Yeah. It's like perfumey. The tangerine essence is very light. I almost expect it to be more flavorful because it's a peel. Typically, you can get a lot of flavor out of the zest.
Yeah.
Sometimes bitter. Yeah, it's really interesting. Yeah, pretty different. I don't know if I like it, but it is interesting.
Yeah.
I can see why people would like this.
Ultralight?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to hit it with boiling water here and thyme, and we'll see how that goes. Actually, really lovely aftertaste. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Um,
Kind of reminds me of almost white tea with its aftertaste. Like, it has this very refreshing feel to it. It's definitely like citrus that's bringing that out.
Yeah. I wonder if you cold brew this, if it would be, the tangerine would come out more.
Yeah. I wonder. Because the balance of flavors, I could see it shifting. Because it's kind of like you have these two very different flavors of ripe and tangerine kind of tussling. So getting the blend of this right to the right taste, I think, is important. I think I overall do like this tea. But if I wanted to drink ripe, I don't think this is what I'd gravitate towards necessarily.
I wouldn't even really call this tea, not to be a jerk about it.
But to be a jerk about it.
But to be a jerk about it. This is a different thing. You know what I mean? We've had some teas that have been like presented in the skin of like a tangerine as well and stuff, and it's not that they're bad by any stretch. It's just like hard to compare this to a typical ripe, you know.
For sure, yeah.
But yeah, interesting. I know what you mean about like kind of white tea aftertaste. All right, here we go. Cheers.
Cheers. It's kind of building in a way I don't necessarily like.
Yeah, it's getting a bit earthier and almost muddier.
Yeah, I almost wish there's more ripe flavors in this.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
I wonder if this will age well.
Sorry?
I wonder if this will age well.
No idea. It's almost like the ripe does not provide quite the backbone that I thought it would for this tea.
Yeah. Huh. Intriguing. I think if you're... So I would not recommend this if someone's just getting into tea.
Yeah. No, terrible example for ripe.
Exactly. Yeah. But if you are interested in exploring tea, I would definitely check this out and see if it's a good fit for you. I know that people like to add citrus peel to tea in general.
For sure, yeah. And it's a very different feel than other ones we've had, interestingly. Right. So I wonder if people that are more experienced with those and have them more regularly might like this or find something else out of it. Some characteristic that we're not quite picking up on.
Yeah, I feel kind of ill-equipped in some ways. I wonder if the peels are aged before they're incorporated.
Interesting. It could be.
They look dark.
The ripe leaves also are actually on the lighter end too. So perhaps a lighter fermentation.
Huh. Interesting. Where can people pick this up?
Chensheng Hao. You could Google them. So they specialize, especially in raw pu'erh. So this is a little bit of a novelty for them as well. They sell a lot of very strong raw pu'erh from kind of Bulong and Labanjiang and stuff.
Yeah, and we enjoyed the Labanjiang that we did the other day.
Yeah.
So I would recommend in general. This is kind of one of those like novelty teas in a way. Doesn't mean it's bad. Maybe not something I would session regularly, but certainly interesting. So thank you to those folks for sending it our way. I appreciate that. Check us out if you want to consume more tea content on tdb.org. Subscribe. Who are we sending this to?
Your cat's nephew.
Nephew.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. There you go. Good.
Cross multi-generational.
There you go. And
building the house.
We'll see you guys next time.
Wu-Tang!